On any given month throughout the year, we spend about $1 million per month at my Facebook ads agency over the about 10 clients that we tend to work with at a time. We work anywhere between 8 to 10 clients at a time. We like to work with a few small clients versus having hundreds of clients and like be really spread thin in that sense. So I've learned a lot when it came down to Facebook ads, right? Like we easily spend over $1 million a month the last 12 months. Just in the last 12 months, we spent over $12 million on Facebook ads. Back in 2015, when I ran my first ever Facebook ad, I was spending $5 a day, sometimes $10 a day, and spending $150, $300 a month. So, just to show you the progression over 10 years of, basically how much like I spend per day, per month, things like that. I've learned a couple key things, right? A couple key things that, more from a mindset perspective, and also too, just from like, hey, lessons I've learned. So with that being said, let's just dive into it. And the first thing I want to talk about is just letting things run. There'll be a lot of times where performance will dip, we'll be scaling, crushing, and then like performance will drop. 99% of the time of what we do now is do nothing. Literally just do nothing. We just let things keep spending, even if it's at a loss, and we'll wait 3-4 days. And I would say about 80% of the time, things will just go back to normal. And back, a couple months ago, a couple years ago, I would get in a super reactive state, right? So as we're be scaling and then we won't change anything. Performance will drop, we'll freak out, we'll start turning off ads, we'll start turning off campaigns, we'll lower daily budget a lot, we'll try to relaunch new things, and then guess what? Performance just does this. It might shoot up a little bit, then fall back down, and it's a craziness, right? For weeks, because we overreacted and we made so many changes in the account. Facebook lost stability. It lost what the main things that was working in that kind of combination right there, right? So 90% of the time now, we just let things keep rolling. Yes, we might be at a loss for 2-3 days, but 90% of the time, 80% of the time, we'll see performance just go back to normal. Then if performance doesn't, then cool, let's pull budget back and let's start looking at how can we find new winning creatives to put in the account. But it's being less reactive. Some people might call it lazy, but to be fair, now we have less impact negatively every time something happens in the account. Now, talking about the account, the next thing, number 2, is just simply having a simple ad account structure and not changing your ad account structure every single time something happens. I remember back in 2019 when I closed my first ever client, what I did was the only thing I did to improve the performance in that account was change the ad account structure, right? They had all kinds of shit going on. They had 20 campaigns, bid caps, cost caps, lookalikes, interests, horizontally, vertically scaling, all of these things we were doing at once in the account. So I turned off those 20 campaigns and launched 3 or 4 campaigns, and that was it. And it improved performance overnight because we consolidated everything down, made it optimal for Facebook to run. Now, the problem I had at the time was that I confused the hierarchy of what's going to create the largest impact in an account. And I put that hierarchy as ad account structure, creative. I wasn't even focusing on the creative at that time. I was just oh, whatever, toss it, and then boom, hierarchy over the ad account structure. So every time performance would dip, I would just change the ad account structure. And I would say about 80% of the time, performance didn't improve at all. And maybe 20% of the time it did. But for me, I was confusing a very easy action, right? It's easy to go change your ad account structure. It's a lot harder to create creatives that convert. But when you create creatives that convert, you'll have significantly longer amounts of time of consistent performance, and you'll be able to scale fucking 10 times more than what you're doing now. Whereas ad account structure, you're looking at maybe a 1 to 2% improvement. It's so little, and it's a fucking hilarious of how many people spend all their time on that shit. So, for me, back in 2021, I went all in on just, hey, we'll have our one main scaling campaign, we'll have our creative testing campaign, and then that's it. And I saw significantly better performance. Then in 2022, I went all in on the DCT method where we got rid of that creative testing campaign. And now we just have one campaign and just tossing in new ads. And if they spin, they work. That's great. If they don't, they're cool. We'll cut them off. And performance has been significantly improved since we did that over dozens of different accounts, different niches, different verticals, and then all the people I teach to on YouTube. And then also on top of that, I have over 100 students I mentor on a monthly basis experiencing the same thing. So I can't tell you the last time I changed an ad account structure, right? Like we just run the same ad account structure over and over, and we just keep operating within that one campaign. Like we have one campaign right now of over 350 different ad tests we've launched in that campaign. We only have like, I think 12 ads running right now in that campaign that are active, and we spent a couple $1 million in that campaign, but we've done a ton of testing in it. And then just when an ad takes off and spends more, cool, we let it roll and we keep it on. Simple as that. So since we stopped giving weight to the ad account structure, like it's weighted in the sense of, yes, it's very important, but it's the misunderstanding of having to change it all the time. That's where it fucks people up so much and just kills their performance, right? Like you can't be that person right there. You know, I was that person. So I'm speaking from experience because I was that person. Like literally all of 2020, every day I would change a new fucking account structure. And guess what? I was just sitting there spinning my wheels and getting nowhere due to it, right? Like if I regret anything, it was that thing right there that just sat there and kept spinning my wheels. I'd be bored and I didn't know the hierarchy of creatives. So because I was bored and had nothing else to do, I would just be like, oh, let me go be productive. Let me go set up some new interest tests and shit like that. And all I was doing was wasting time and money for our clients. So that's something right there that, you know, what I would say regret in that sense right there. So keep one account structure and just roll with it. Stop fucking around and going between those different things like that. So we talked about just letting things run. We talked about keeping a simple ad account structure. Number 3, creative, right? Again, I made the mistake. I overemphasized ad account structure being the highest hierarchy in terms of the levers you can control to improve performance. And that was false, right? And I learned from my mistake, as mentioned. So one of the highest levers, right? You have creative, you have landing page, and you have product. Product is the highest lever. The landing page is the second highest lever, and then creative, well, I would say product is the highest, creative is the second to highest, and then landing page is the third highest in terms of levers of which you control, right? Creative is so important. Now, the problem with this, right, is that if I tell you you need to go test new creatives, you'll probably go pull some bullshit from like AliExpress reviews, go paste them as new images on Facebook, and they do terrible. And then you're in the comments, Nick, I tried running some image ads, and guess what? They didn't work. It's like, well, no shit. You put zero effort into creating these creatives. You just went and like launched them, and you put no effort into it. Guess what? So did the other 100 people selling that product use those same creatives, and you're wondering why you have piss poor performance. It's for that exact reason right there. You're not putting any effort. You're not going out there and building creatives based off marketing fundamentals. I literally have a 4-step video series with advanced guide on how to create creatives that convert, how to use the proper research to build a compelling hook that's going to attract the right audience, and the key things you need to put in that creative to make people buy. And that right there is boring work. It's not fun. It's not sexy. But those are the things that allow us to spend anywhere from a couple $100s a day to the most I've personally spent in a day for one ad account was $100,000 a day on Facebook. Those are the ways we can scale with that due to building those creatives right there, right? And you can't just keep testing the same type of creative over and over. And don't be that little shithead who uses the same video with 50 different hooks, because I also see that right there. It's like literally me uploading the same exact YouTube video every day of the week with just a different title, right? Like maybe the first one will do good and it'll just be deteriorating performance ever since that video right there, right? So you need to consistently keep filming new contents and new things based around those hooks you create. And yes, it will be expensive. And yes, not every video will work, but this is how the people that are spending a couple $100,000 a month on Facebook is able to spend that, because they're willing to do the work that you're not willing to do. And that's why they beat you every single day on that platform. Now, next thing, creative, you're, letting things roll for a little bit, not fucking around with your ad account structure. And number 4 is your landing page. We'll get to number 5 in a second here, but landing page. All right. Now, I wouldn't say a landing page, like I said, it's like the third highest thing from a lever of you can control, right? So your creative does everything to grab the right audience and grabbing their interests, grabbing their desire, and kind of highlighting and introducing your product. but you need a badass landing page that really shows people more examples of their desire being satisfied, answering their questions. You know, you've gone out there and filmed some really good content with that product that really sells them on that product right there. Your landing page is a sales conversation that's digitized. If you go to the, Rolex store, if you go to the dealership to buy a car, that sales conversation you have around that particular product, that's your landing page. The paid advertising is just what grabs their attention and introduces a new message into their head to get them to that landing page. So landing page is another very big lever of control right there. One of my favorite landing pages is Rose Skin Co. Rose Skin Co. has a phenomenal product page for their product Lumi, L-U-M-I. Go take a look at it. Just everything they're doing on that page, recreate the product photos, the different sections of that product page of key things that they're articulating to people. All of those things are super important and highly recommend you check that out and look at how can you implement that for you. Now, number 5, this is the greatest lever of control that you have when it comes down to achieving success with Facebook ads and spending basically fuck you money on Facebook. That is your product. Do not underestimate your product's ability to scale. If you try to enter the market with a least superior product, you will get burned to the ground. If I would try to sell an iPhone 4 when everyone wants an iPhone 15, I would get obliterated on Facebook. You need a superior product. What is a superior product? Well, look at an iPhone 15. It has a better camera. It has better screen. It has longer battery life. It's, it has the new iOS and everything like that. Go look at an iPhone 4. The battery life sucks. The camera quality sucks. The screen size sucks. Well, guess what? That's why an iPhone 15 is better. It's a superior product in the marketplace. Why did iPhone burn BlackBerry to the ground when they were released? Because they introduced a whole new way with this touchscreen technology, the apps and things like that. Whereas Apple was like, oh, let's just keep our clipboard. If you want to watch that movie, highly recommend it. It's the BlackBerry documentary, and you'll see how iPhone burns BlackBerry to the ground. Now, this is the same with Facebook ads. And, well, Nick, I'm drop shipping. Well, dude, message your manufacturer. Spend the extra money to improve your product based off what people hate about it. If everyone hates your product because the screen size sucks, go talk to your manufacturer. Spend the money to invest into a better product. Yes, it costs more. Yes, it's a bigger risk. But this is the things that people are willing to do that are doing millions a year that you're not willing to do. And because they're willing to do it and take the risk, it's a harder level of entry. The harder level of entry separates the people that are crushing it in scaling versus the people that are still stuck with the shitty products that no one wants and then complaining on Facebook or about how Facebook performance sucks or how, it's all dropshipping is all a scam. It's like, no, it's not. You're just not willing to do the work. You're not really to take that step out of your comfort zone to go to that next level. And that's the big things right there. That's the things that separate the winners versus the people that are still stuck with mediocre performance on Facebook. It's the people that are willing to take that step to competition at what type of creatives that they're filming, what type of product they have, and how can I just go one step above that. That's the people right there that crush it with Facebook ads. They have the product, they have the landing page, they have the creatives, they have all those good things. And yes, they're willing to spend a little bit more money than you. And if you just think hard enough that you can find cheaper ways to do those things, just slightly cheaper to where it's budget friendly and still crush it. So just keep that in mind right there. So yeah, these are the 5 things I've learned after spending over $12 million on Facebook, on average in the last year, or a little over $1 million a month. Hope this guys helps y'all out. Don't confuse my, I know I went a little hard on you guys, but trust me, it's because I care about you guys, because I love you guys a lot. And, sometimes you need a little wake-up call right there. So make sure to like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're stuck at 100K a month and you want to scale to multiple 7 figures a month, click the link below to book a call with me and my team. We specifically help Shopify stores stuck at 100K a month who want to scale to $3 to $5 million a month mark. If you're doing over $10,000 a month with your Shopify store, you want a community of other store owners all looking to learn and scale together, click the link below to have Nick Theriot mentor you. And if you're stuck at $50 to $100 a day in Facebook ad spend and you want to learn the exact marketing fundamentals we deploy in accounts, allows us to spend over $1,000 a day profitably with Facebook ads, click the link below to Nick's Facebook ads course. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great week. Peace out.